A hero saves the world, and the people he trusted reward him by torturing him to death. But the system gives him one more chance, and this time, he's not here to save anyone.
A hero gets summoned, fights for 4 years, defeats the demon lord, and his reward is a slow death at the hands of the people he trusted. Uke Kaito is bleeding out on the ground while his allies laugh. Then a system message appears, Holy Sword of Vengeance unlocked.
Kaito's final moments aren't filled with regret. He swears he'll slaughter every one of them using the cruelest methods possible, carving the pain so deep they'll remember it in their next lives. A red-haired woman watches him fade, asking where it all went wrong. Kaito doesn't care about answers anymore. His killers stand over him laughing, congratulating each other like they just finished a chore. Kaito can barely move, blood running from his mouth, but that twisted grin says everything. I will definitely kill all of you. Mark my words. And then Uke Kaito, the summoned hero, dies. One of them complains he's taking too long to die. Another says, don't worry, he can't even stand. These people ate with him, fought beside him, smiled at him for years while planning this exact moment. Kaito's last conscious thought isn't a prayer, it's a kill list. The system starts firing off messages in the darkness. Tutorial mode ended, experience regressed. His spirit sword skill, 4 years of work, the system tries to strip it. But the Holy Sword of Vengeance blocks the process. Whatever this tutorial mode was, the rules just changed. Kaito opens his eyes in a grand hall wearing the same clothes from the day he was first summoned. He should be dead, but he's standing in the royal capital's summoning chamber, and the people who will eventually betray him are staring right at him. He's back at the beginning. Teleportation? Death hallucination? His mind races through explanations until he feels something that cuts through all the confusion. Hostility, aimed directly at him. He can sense it clearly now. Whatever this second chance is, he's not wasting it pretending these people are friends. Lauren is the first to learn that Kaito isn't the same naive hero. Kaito tries to snap his neck casually, but it doesn't break. His body won't cooperate with his memories. The attack should have been lethal, but something's wrong with his strength. Lauren scrambles backwards, terrified. Alicia delivers the exact line from his nightmares. I'm not betraying you because we were never allies in the first place. She said it when she stabbed him before. But this time, Kaito can sense her ill intent, like heat off a fire. He calls himself a fool for ever trusting her. Kaito makes the decision that defines everything. He's not going to just kill them. That would be too fast, too merciful. What he wants isn't execution, it's revenge. The real kind. The kind that makes them feel every ounce of what they put him through, stretched out and savored. He checks his status, trying to figure out what he's working with. He remembers being stabbed with the immortal killing treasured sword before he died. His eye catches something strange in the status screen, a symbol he's never seen. Something has fundamentally changed about his abilities. The status screen nearly breaks him. Uke Kaito, level 1, age 17. His stats are high, but the level reads 1, and his age says 17 when he knows he's 21. Spirit sword, language understanding, basic fist strike, that's it. 4 years of progress, gone. He tests airwalk mid-combat, a skill that creates footholds on thin air. It activates, but at skill level 1 with proficiency of 1 out of 10,000. It works, barely. The gap between his experience and his current abilities feels like a knife in his ribs. Mana drain is brutal, casting time painfully slow. Level 1 is trash. He notices only certain skills work, the ones in white text on his status. He wonders if it's the immortal killing treasured sword's curse, but the math doesn't add up. Something else is happening. Everything he built over 4 years is back to square one. Even spirit sword is blocked. It's a full reset. He grits his teeth hard enough to crack them. The system gave him a second life, but stripped away almost everything that made him dangerous. Almost everything. Alicia's lesson comes first. He hits her with an attack that sends her flying, an explosion ripping across the chamber. He asks why she thinks he healed her earlier, just so he could break her again. He calls her pitiful. This isn't the same hero anymore. Something darker crawled back from death. Bodies litter the summoning chamber floor. Kaito stands in the center, breathing hard, a status notification blinking in front of him. For one moment he looks almost confused by his own brutality. Then a body at his feet groans, and he grinds his heel down without hesitation. Chapter 2 starts right here. The goddess of Earth explains everything. She's been sending humans to other worlds, but most die immediately, so she built a tutorial system. Live through it once, die, get sent back to the start with your skills and knowledge intact, minus time converted to experience penalties. Kaito's eyes go wide. This isn't a dream. He has no time limit. He's actually back with full knowledge of everyone who's going to betray him. The grin on his face would make a demon lord nervous, the oath he swore on his deathbed.
He can fulfill it right now. He could wipe them all out before they realize what's happening. But efficiency isn't what Kaido wants. He wants them to suffer, to see it coming, and be unable to stop it. Standing in that blood-soaked chamber with a broken smile, Uki Kaito starts planning exactly how to deliver it. Kaito heals Alicia with his jade green crystal blade. Not out of mercy, but because he needs her alive to deliver a message. She spits back at him, calling him a monster, refusing to listen to anything he has to say. He just smiles and says he has a request for her. Alicia screams at him, calls him a lunatic, demands to know why he's doing this. Kaito bursts out laughing because she reacted exactly how he predicted. Then his voice drops cold. "Don't ever lose those feelings," he tells her, "because it won't be any fun if she breaks too early." He smiles warmly and gets back to the topic of his request, says he can't force her, acts disappointed that he healed her for nothing. The whole performance is deliberate and unnerving. Then, without warning, he shoves her to the ground. Whatever game he's playing, he wrote the rules himself. Kaito stares down at Alicia and admits he used to think she was beautiful. His heart even raced once when he accidentally saw her changing in his first life. But now, looking at her, he feels nothing. She calls him a beast. He makes a face of pure disgust right back. Since Alicia refuses to listen to his request, Kaito decides he'll write a letter instead. He summons the fire spider's leg blade, a weapon that can light fire on contact. Alicia's eyes go wide as she realizes exactly what he's about to use it for, and she's right to be afraid. Kaito hums to himself while Alicia screams. She begs for someone to save her, but he laughs. Nobody's coming. Just like how they held him down when they killed him, now he's returning the favor. The irony isn't lost on him. It's the whole point. He checks his status mid-torture. Mana's down to 81 out of 412. Can't use Spirit Sword like this. He kept healing Alicia between rounds so she wouldn't die before he finished his letter. With 500 knights in the castle, it's time to go. Alicia's face fills the frame. Tears, snot, pure terror. Kaito leans in close and makes her a promise. He'll drown her in every ounce of humiliation and pain she put him through. Then he grins at her expression like he's admiring a painting.
What a nice expression you have there, Alicia.
Even now, Alicia tries to play her old cards. She tells Kaito she can save him if he begs for forgiveness, swears loyalty, and plays the role of obedient hero for the citizens. Kaito listens to every word, and then he thinks to himself, "I finally see it." But it's still not enough. The words read, kill, hurt, torture, sever flood through Kaito's mind on repeat. He decides this level of suffering still isn't satisfying. Killing them one by one takes too long. But that means he gets to enjoy this revenge game even longer. That thought makes him smile. Kaito flips Alicia over and makes sure none of the others in the room can call for help. He pulls out Fire Spider's leg blade and tries a technique he learned, a method for crushing someone's throat. The result is censored, but the sound effects tell you everything you need to know. Before leaving, Kaito crouches down and tells Alicia they won't meet again for a while. He asks for her name. She refuses, obviously. He shrugs it off. That's fine, he says, because he already wrote about himself in the letter he carved into her. She'll remember him whether she wants to or not. Chapter 3 opens with Kaito standing on a hilltop overlooking the city, arms spread wide, screaming into the sky like a man who just broke out of prison. And that's basically what happened. He estimates he has about 1 day before anyone figures out what he did inside the castle walls. Kaito's celebration doesn't last long. He knows the truth. He still lacks power, time, and preparation for his full revenge. The plan is simple. Earn money for his revenge fund and get out of the royal capital before the kingdom catches up. He heads for the marketplace.
Walking through the streets, Kaito realizes even the common people are technically his enemies, since they believe whatever the kingdom and church tell them. But they aren't his priority, so he doesn't feel the urge to hurt them. He hopes they'll suffer eventually, though. He keeps walking until he reaches the slums.
A group of street thugs block Kaito's path and try the oldest scam in the book. Pay a toll or don't pass. They call him a weird clothed dude and act like they've already won. Kaito stares at them the way a wolf stares at a dog that just barked too loud. Kaito checks his status. MP still dangerously low at 75. He can't use skills freely, but he did pick up night vision and haste from navigating the castle basement. He stabs the thug leader and cauterizes the wound with fire magic. No blood on his clothes this time. Efficient and clean. Somewhere across the city, a hooded figure named Jack is sprinting through the streets in a full panic. He crashes past civilians, muttering, "This is bad," over and over. He reaches a heavily guarded door flanked by gargoyle statues that demand a password before letting anyone through. Jack blurts out the password, Trash Heap's spare key, and the door swings open. He bursts inside, panting, desperate to find the boss. Other members lounging around ask if the kingdom sent knights. Jack waves them off. No time to explain. He needs the boss immediately. Something big just happened. Jack finally reaches the boss's office. The man behind the desk is calm, bespectacled, buried in paperwork by candlelight. He doesn't even look up. Sorry, I can't take my attention away from these documents right now. Is that all right? Jack swallows hard and agrees. Whatever he saw out there has him terrified. Kaito kicks down the door to the boss's office, carrying a beaten thug like a grocery bag. The man behind the desk doesn't even flinch. He introduces himself as Jafane Gull, the one who manages the slum. Then he calmly tells Jack to leave the room. Business is about to start. Kaito asks if Jafane rules the slum, and the answer is yes with a polite smile. Kaito says he just needs a little help. Nothing hard. Then he adds that if Jafane wants to know who he is, that'll cost 50 gold coins up front. The boss's eye twitches, but his curiosity wins. Jafane examines the necklace Kaito brought, and his composure cracks for the first time. Every magic stone in it is woven with first-class enchantments. Kaito watches him react and notes something important. Jafane isn't on his revenge list. Not an enemy, not an ally, just a business partner. The negotiation lands at 350 gold coins. Advance now, the rest tomorrow. Jafane holds the necklace as collateral and admits it would cost a fortune to learn more about his mysterious customer. Kaito takes the deal, pocketing the advance. Both men smile, and neither one trusts the other at all. Jafane tests Kaito by asking if 50 coins buys his identity. Kaito grins, not for sale. The boss laughs to herself. A strange blob creature squeaks at her feet. Whatever Kaito is, he's the most interesting thing to walk through her door in years. Kaito finally collapses at an inn and immediately opens his status screen, still level 1. Despite fighting thugs, gargoyles, and everything else, his experience sits at negative 20,000. The goddess's time penalty is devastating. He stares at the ceiling and mutters that this reduction is a bit much. He digs deeper into the system. Spirit Sword needs 3,000 points to unseal, and he only has about 1,000 earned. He clicks on Holy Sword of Vengeance. Unlock conditions require facing 10 trusted people and swearing revenge. It raises perception against ill will. Kaito reviews his full blade arsenal on the status screen and discovers a new one, Magic Adjusting Hook Blade, which can rewrite magic on items by pouring mana into it. He stocks up on MP potions and starts prepping supplies for leaving town. The preparation phase of his revenge is almost complete. He holds up the necklace he's been working on and sighs. He wishes he could be there when the princess receives this little gift. He doesn't know the king and queen well enough to predict their reactions, but he desperately wants to see it. Time to call on that shitty Four Eyes one more time. Kaito finishes his work at the inn and celebrates way too loudly. The neighbor pounds on the wall, screaming at him to shut up. He freezes. If the walls are this thin, they probably heard him humming the whole time too. The most dangerous man in the kingdom turns bright red from embarrassment. He returns to Jufane's hideout, and the gargoyle guards let him through without a fight this time. The boss clearly warned them. Kaito drops 340 gold coins on the table as promised and tells the bodyguards to relax. He won't kill anyone who doesn't attack him first, barely reassuring. The deal wraps up, and Jafane hands over a prying eye receiver, a surveillance tool Kaito specifically requested. He calls her a greedy bastard. She giggles and calls it a corporate secret. He says he hopes they never meet again. She says she'd love for him to come back any time. Kaito negotiates another job. He wants Jafane to spy on the royals using the same tools she uses on nobles. She pushes back hard on the price because the risk with royalty is completely different. They haggle from 80 coins down to 60. The sky clears outside her window as the deal settles. The final piece of the negotiation clicks into place. Jafane agrees to prepare a homunculus for Kaito so he can watch everything that happens inside the castle remotely. 20 gold coins as compensation, plus another 20 if she completes a side request. Kaito wants to see his revenge unfold in real time. Kaito walks into a slave shop on the edge of town. No other customers. He tells the dealer he wants someone worth 10 gold coins. The dealer eyes his cheap clothes and politely asks if he's actually carrying that kind of money. Kaito's expression makes it clear the question irritated him. The dealer leads Kaito through the cells, showing him the merchandise. Kaito's internal reasoning is cold and calculated. He needs a slave to help raise his level and serve as camouflage while traveling. Once he's done with them, he'll toss them some money and walk away. Pure utility. Chapter 4 opens with Kaito stopping in front of one specific cell. A bunny-eared beastman girl glares at him through the bars with raw hatred in her eyes. The dealer warns that she's untamable, brought in for a noble with unusual tastes. Kaito doesn't hesitate. I'll take that one. The dealer registers Kaito's master crest, a magic seal that lets him control the slave through jolts of pain whenever he channels mana into it. As the crest activates, the system fires off a notification. Slaver's whip blade has been unlocked, another weapon added to his growing arsenal. Kaito steps into the cell and leans close to the bunny girl's face. He tells her she has beautiful eyes. She yanks against her chains and snarls. "Don't touch me, filthy human!" He pulls back, studying her, and quietly confirms what he suspected. She's the same as him. Whatever Kaito sees in this girl's eyes, rage, defiance, the refusal to break no matter what, he recognizes it. She headbutts him hard enough to draw blood, and he barely reacts. Most buyers would activate the pain crest immediately. Kaito just stares at her like he found exactly what he was looking for. Kaito pins the bunny girl down and activates the slave crest just enough to stop her thrashing. She's panting, furious, bleeding from where she bit him. He crouches in front of her with a look that isn't cruel. It's curious. Then he asks the one question nobody expected. "So who do you want to kill?" The story cuts to a memory. Two young girls, Minaris and her friend Carol, are walking deep into a dark forest looking for fruit. It's someone's birthday and Minaris wants to bring something special. Carol nervously points out they've gone way too far. The trees groan around them in the wind.
They spot a fruit tree, and Carol lights up. It wasn't for nothing after all, but Minaris freezes. Through the branches, she can see something moving. It's an ice goblin, a monster known for being both intelligent and brutal. Carol whispers for them to retreat slowly. Minaris doesn't listen.
The flashback jumps further back. Minaris' mother carefully hides her daughter's bunny ears using illusion magic and makes her promise, never use your beastman power outside, or the illusion breaks and everyone will know what you are. Minaris asks why it matters. Her mother just smiles sadly and says she's sorry. Carol sits with Minaris afterward and tells her it's okay. She saved her friend in the end. Minaris apologizes quietly, unsure if what she did was right. Then a harsh voice rips through the memory. "Wake up, Minaris!" Someone is shouting her name, and it's not a friend this time. The village elder stands before Minaris and her mother, trembling. Their secret is out. They're bunny beastmen who've been hiding among humans. The mother drops to her knees and begs forgiveness for the deception. Minaris clutches her hand, watching the elder's face twist with something between fear and disgust. Everything falls apart at once. Carol, the same friend Minaris risked her life to save, turns on her. She says Minaris was bullying a girl named Lucia, that she's the worst, that she's disappointed. The village boys pile on. Minaris stares at Carol in disbelief. The promise to keep her secret meant nothing. The elder accuses Minaris' mother of using beastman power to threaten and silence Lucia. Her mother doesn't deny anything. She just begs. Let her daughter go. She doesn't care what they do to her. Minaris watches her mother sacrifice herself in real time, and the look in her eyes starts to change. The village attacks. Stones fly. People who smiled at them yesterday now scream, "Dirty beastman," while throwing rocks at a mother shielding her child. Minaris' mother takes every hit, wrapping her body around her daughter. Minaris screams for them to stop. Nobody does. Nobody even hesitates. More faces appear in the memory. People who once knew them, now claiming they were deceived the whole time. "I have nothing to do with them. How dare you, dirty beastman!" Every person who once treated Minaris as human now pretends they never knew her at all. The betrayal is total and absolute. The slave trader kicks her while she's down and calls beastmen incompetent, mocks her mother's death as selfish. Young Minaris sits in her cell, asking herself the same questions over and over. What was my mistake? Whose fault is this? What should I do to make it right? The answers never come. Back in the present, the trader beats her for defiance. She stopped obeying long ago. No food, no mercy, torture on repeat. None of it broke her. The twisted flame burning inside her body refuses to forgive any of them. Then a dark-haired boy crouches in front of her and says she has beautiful eyes. Minaris assumes he's another noble with warped tastes. She headbutts him, snarls, fights the chains. But Kaito doesn't flinch, doesn't activate the pain crest, doesn't even look angry. He just stares at her like he's looking in a mirror. End of part 1. And two broken people have finally found each other.